To the coaches before the game. He's taking it all in stride, but kid you not, he's coming out trying to win tonight.
Simeon Kirkland and Brandon Horvath come to midcourt, and we are underway, and the Aggies will control the tip as Kirkland concedes the tip-off to Horvath, and the Aggies moving right to left, and they're all whites and blue trim. Don't worry, no all blacks tonight. Rylan Jones driving, kicking to Rylan Jones, wide open for three, double clutched it, and then shot it, and then hit it. Usually on those double clutches, you don't make those.
No, but I think RJ's really turning into a three-point shooter. That's his favorite place to be right now, so he's shooting with confidence.
Working up to St. Hilaire, again averaging 20 points per game to Alan Eikens. And he'll take the long jumper from the baseline. Missed it, but a nice offensive rebound by Kirkland. And he will jump ball. It'll go back to New Orleans as he got tied up down on the right low block.
Yeah, that's Justin Bean just getting his hands in there and, he conceded the rebound, but then, able to get the jump ball and get the alternating possession turned around. Deshaun
Allen Eikens inbounding. They swing it up top to Kirkland. Kirkland then gets it back to his big man, Alan Eikens, on the right elbow. Finally handing off to St. Hilaire, averaging 15 field goal attempts per game. Rotates it left to Tyson Jackson. Finally, a long three from the left wing is up and missed, and Brandon Horvath comes away with it as Kirkland couldn't get it to go. Brandon Horvath in transition to Brock Miller. Brock being guarded closely there. Loses the handle to Horvath. Horvath to RJ. He'll take another three and leaves it a little bit too long, and the rebound brought down by New Orleans.
Yeah, it's an open shot. I'd like to see him driving a little bit more, but that's an open shot.
St. Hilaire to Kirkland. Kirkland rotates it left to Alan Eikens, then back to St. Hilaire. Bounce pass down low. Nice entry pass into the post. Turnaround jumper finally taken and knocked down by Simeon Kirkland. Not an easy pass to make in the post, but St. Hilaire is able to find his man and pick up the assist. 3-2, Utah State with an early 1-point lead. Brock Miller will take the three. Right wing, up and good. Brock Miller coming into this game, really lighting it up from beyond the three-point line. He's a near, from the three-point line, he's shooting about 37% from three. If he stays there for the season, watch out.
Yeah, we'll take that, and he'll get some looks because that's a percentage that's very impressive at the college level.
Aggies up 6-2 against the Privateers of New Orleans. Drive into the post and a turnover as Deshaun Allen Eikens dragged the foot. And just like that, the two substitutes that are available for New Orleans come into the game.
Yeah, we've cleared the bench.
Yeah.
Everyone gets to play.
Rodney Carson comes into the game.
We'll see this all night, right? I think that's the way they have to keep them fresh.
Yeah. Aggies up 6-2 with the ball. Justin Bean outside the three-point line straight away. Finally gets it to Rylan Jones on the left wing, being guarded by Saki. Rotates it right to Horvath, and Horvath is fouled. And you wonder if you're an official. I know you've done a little officiating on the side. If you know a team's only got 7 players, do you take it a little easy on them?
Well, I don't ever call fouls anyway, so I'm not really one to ask. But I don't think they do at this level. They're getting critiqued for every whistle.
Yep, that's true.
And the whistles that they miss even more.
Nice inbound to Bean, but Bean is blocked at the rim by Deontay Bell, and here comes New Orleans going the other way. Aggies lead 6-2. Entry pass down in the post. Spin around, nearly tied up, is able to muscle up the shot, but Tyson Jackson's not able to get it to go, and Rylan Jones comes away with it.
We 4-teamed him.
Yeah. Here comes Idlerock into lane. Euro step, layup, up and in. And the Aggies up to an early 8-2 lead.
Yeah, I like that from Idlerock. He gave up the three, lifted his guy, got him in the air, and then drove to the hoop.
Rylan Jones closely guarding Saki. So he has to give it up. Hands over to Carson Jr., then up top to Alan Eikens. Still hammering the dribble. Finally to the right elbow, and the entry pass stolen away. Justin Bean with his first steal of the game. Quickly to Idlerock. Idlerock, who's got 5 out of the 8 Aggie points, dishes it to Horvath, who lays it up and in, and the Aggies out early, 10-2, 16:50 left to go first half play.
Yeah, we really have an advantage on the break. I think that's going to be our key the whole game. Timeout.
And a timeout, New Orleans, as Saki looked at the official. Rylan Jones poked his hand in to try to get a quick steal before the timeout. But the officials say driving into lane. Saki takes the floater off the glass, won't go, tipped around, and RJ Idlerock's able to come away with it. Bounce pass it to Rylan Jones. Throw the alley-oop to Bean, who throws down the two-handed dunk. Oh, coach, my goodness, what was that? Wow.
He left well outside the restricted arc. Wow.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Try to find a highlight of that one later. Saki into the lane. He'll Euro step. He'll kiss it off the glass. He will not get it to go, and Horvath is fouled on the rebound. Deontay Bell Coach, I thought that was going to be somewhat of a grab and then maybe come down with it and then lay it up. I didn't think he'd be able to catch it and throw it down in stride there.
No, he kept going up and up and up, and what a great pass by Ryland, but tremendous finish by Bean.
Into the game will come Sean Bairstow. Also Stephen Ashworth into the game. Brock Miller checks out. That's Bean's first points of the night. What a nasty dunk by Justin Bean. My goodness. All right, Ashworth brings the ball down the court, crossing the timeline, working right to left. Ashworth had some nice moments in the game against BYU. Crossover dribble, hands to Bean. Bean back to Ashworth. Ashworth back up top to Bean. Thought about the three, drives, kicks it left. As we will get a foul against
Could be
New Orleans against Ashworth.
interesting if we get a few of those, the rebounding foul on this
Yep.
end and then that low handshake. Like, at some point, you're right, they may need to be letting those go, but not quite yet.
Ashworth will inbound, 20 seconds back on the shot clock. Ryland Jones works against St. Hilaire to Bean. Bean on the right low block, going to work, double team, kicks it left to Ashworth, looks down, makes sure his foot's on the line, shoots the three and knocks it down.
That dude, he is unconscious.
He's really kind of going into a groove right now.
Yeah, he just jumps up and shoots it.
15-2, Aggies lead by 13. Currently on a 12-0 run. St. Hilaire, nice pass down low, leads to a layup as he's able to find Tyson Jackson in the post, and he lays it up and in.
Yeah, a little different look for St. Hilaire without Brock on him, huh?
Yep. Ashworth, back to Bairstow. Pump fakes the three, then dribbles out of it. Hands to Bean. Bean back to Ashworth. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Nice screen from Bean, getting Ashworth a spot where he flips it over to Bairstow for three, and he knocks it down. And the Aggies up 18-4. Bairstow getting into the mix. You've got 6 Aggie players with points already in this game.
Scotty, I'm not sure this lineup is not our most productive offensive lineup.
Ooh, you might have a point on that one.
Just fine coming off the bench. That's
Yep.
good.
St. Hilaire shoots over the top of Ashworth. Can't get it to go. Nice offensive rebound by Kirkland, and he is fouled down low. That's Kirkland's second offensive rebound. He's 6'10", 225-pound junior and a good player. Timeout on the court. We'll take it. Coming into the game on the next dead ball will be Shimon Zapala. Was a DMP against BYU. We'll see what he does against New Orleans. You're listening to Aggie Hoops from Learfield.
Parents can talk to their kids about prescriptions in their own way.
Don't share prescriptions, son. Hey, you kid, don't share prescriptions.
Don't share prescriptions. Hey, so like, don't share prescriptions. Don't share prescriptions. Don't do it, all right?
Staker Parson Companies has built a preferred source for sand, rock, and landscape products, ready-mix concrete, asphalt, paving, and construction services in your community for over 65 years. From the parks you play in to the roads you drive on, you can count on the Staker Parson team to deliver quality products and projects safely, timely, and efficiently.
For more information or career opportunities, visit stakerparson.com.
This scene is so important. I need you ready. He's ready. Roll camera.
Are there safe alternatives to this prescription?
Yes. Bravo! Bravo!
14-point lead as we're just 5 minutes and 15 seconds into this one. Time to give you our Utah State Athletic and America First Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, as AFCU has been featuring the academic success of USU student athletes on social media channels. The America First Credit Union Student Athlete Academic Spotlights are, for the third week in the row, Logan Bonner. Not only delivering conference championships in football, but also delivering in the classroom as well.
Yeah, that's a solid deal when you can, lead in both on the field and off the field. That's a student athlete, and congratulations to him. Well earned.
This is a New Orleans team that really, you can tell, has some good players. It's just roster issues tonight. Really kind of biting them, unfortunately. As St. Hilaire with the ball on the left wing, driving baseline, has his pass deflected away and stolen away. And Ryland Jones down court to Ashworth. Ashworth tries to throw the alley-oop to Bean. Collision down on the court. And here comes New Orleans with a numbers going the other way and a great layup over the top. Derek St. Hilaire being able to lay it up and in.
Yeah, Narland said, dunk on me once. I ain't letting you dunk on me twice. So, yeah, that looked like a foul to me, but they weren't having none of that.
18-6, Aggies up by 12. Rylan Jones on the left wing, swings across court to Bairstow. Bairstow will drive into the lane. Pump fake, spin, takes the jumper, and can't get it to go. Rebound ripped down by Simeon Kirkland. I like Kirkland a lot. He's a big body, good rebounder.
Yeah, solid. He'll be a matchup problem for us here tonight if he can start to score a little bit.
Averaging 9 and 4 in 18 minutes a game, and he has the ball on the right low block off of a missed opportunity, and he lays it up and in. 18-8. Aggies' lead is 10.
Sometimes it's like Gobert. Sometimes when you're the tallest player, you just jump up and grab it.
Ashworth gets to the elbow, works it right to Bean. Down to Bairstow to Shimon Zapala.
You gotta meet it. You gotta meet it.
The ball knocked out of his hands for all you junior Jazz players out there. What's the adage you just said there, Coach?
Gotta meet the pass. Yeah, you gotta meet the pass. You gotta step towards it. So he just wanted it to come like it was one on. There was no defender. So got poked away.
Ball poked away, deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Utah State. That's why you listen to this broadcast. Coach gives you little tips here and there.
Step into the pass, as Coach Morrill used to say. Step into the pass.
You can take the coach off the bench. Can't take the bench off the coach. Idle Rock inbounding to Ashworth. Ashworth near the U State logo to Zapala. Zapala back to Ashworth. Ashworth nearly lost it. Comes back to recollect over to Idle Rock. Idle Rock outside the three-point line. Crossover dribble, kicks it left to Bairstow. Bairstow needs to get rid of it. Takes the jumper, but it was not in time. That's a shot clock violation against Utah State.
Yeah, without the change of possession where we knocked it out of bounds, that shot clock was short. The shot clock is going to be a problem this year because of the new rule, but the bench needs to be aware of that, and coaches, you got to let them know out there.
Sackey brings the ball down the court, comes to the mid-court stripe, met there by Ashworth. Swings it over to St. Hilaire. Tries to take advantage of the screen. Aggie Show off the switch. St. Hilaire still with it, being guarded by Idle Rock. Works to the right side, still outside the three-point line. Hands left. Finally comes up top to Sackey. Sackey gets a screen. Trying to drive, gets into the lane, kisses off the glass. No good. Ashworth comes away with it. Aggies up by 10 with the ball with 12:43 left to go here in the first half. Idle Rock pump fake the three and then hands over to Zapala, and Zapala got pickpocketed into the paint. St. Hilaire driving into the lane, and a foul will go against Utah State before the shot. That'll be the second team foul on Utah State, and New Orleans will inbound underneath their own bucket.
Give you another Junior Jazz post tip, Scotty. When they throw you the ball in the post, you got to put it in two places, below your chin or above your head. If you put that thing at your belt line, little guys like St. Hilaire are going to come and slap it away from you.
Rodney Carson Jr. back to St. Hilaire. Nice crossover, takes the long jumper, can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound, goes out of bounds. It'll stay with New Orleans. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Deshaun Allen Eikens will inbound on the base. Looking for somebody to clear and help him out. Finally dishes down low, and the pass intended all the way up top. Lost by Jackson. He's able to come back and get it, and then hands over to St. Hilaire. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Utah State leading New Orleans 18-8. Hilaire, nice reverse layup, gets it to go. Drove baseline, and a little bit of English on that shot, Coach.
Yeah, took advantage. Idle Rock, I don't know if that was a switch or if that's the matchup they're looking for, but drove right past him and then spun it off the backboard.
New Orleans on a 6-0 run. Aggies led by 14, now lead by 8. Idle Rock on the right wing. Steps into a three, takes it, and misses it a little flat, and St. Hilaire comes away with it.
Yeah, a three-pointer off a dribble, which is my taboo shot, right?
Yep.
We don't need three-pointers off a dribble. No rhythm dribble jump shots.
You can tell New Orleans really trying to slow down the tempo. Remember, they only have 7 available players in this game tonight. But they do have their 20-point-per-game guy, St. Hilaire. His pass down in the post, deflected away and stolen away. Utah State with Sean Bairstow leaves it to Idle Rock. He'll step into another three. This one, he buries, and the Aggies snap that 6-0 run by New Orleans and take back a double-digit lead, 21-10.
Such a different shot, right? Assist from Bairstow. All Idle Rock has to do is one-step shoot. His hands are ready. Great opportunity.
Idle Rock with 8 points here in the first 9 minutes of this game. Another pass in the post, deflected away. Finally, though, recollected by New Orleans. And we've got a foul down low against Utah State as Deontay Bell fighting for positioning down there. And somebody got their hand caught in the cookie jar. That brings us to our Second media timeout, 11:02 left to go here in the first half. Utah State leading New Orleans 21-10. You're listening to Aggie basketball from Learfield.
So too bad.
A little bit of a press. Entry pass all the way down to Brock Miller. Takes the three, miss it. Horvath tries to tip it out, but finally controlled by New Orleans. 21-10, Aggies lead by 11. St. Hilaire works to the right side. Dishes to Carson, who then rotates left. Bounce pass down low to St. Hilaire in the post. He didn't like what he saw, so he dribbles out behind the three-point line. And then dishes it back to Jackson, who has Dorius ripping right out of his hands. Hands over to Brock Miller. Miller doesn't have numbers, leaves it to Ryland Jones, who trails down into Dorius, and Dorius throws down the two-handed dunk. There you go, big fella.
That's called being spoon-fed by Ryland Jones. Great pass, great finish.
Aggies on a 5-0 run, lead by 13, 23-10. 10-13 left to go here in the first half.
So the Aggies like to put a bigger man on St. Hilaire. They got RJ on him.
Alan Eikens works it right. Three-point shot attempt by Carson is missed. Horvath pulls down the board and brings the ball quickly down the court. Great handles for a big man. Still driving into the lane. Right-hand layup, no good. Dorius is there to tip it up and in. Trevin Dorius with back-to-back buckets, and the Aggies back up and their largest lead of 15, 25-10.
You know, Scotty, sometimes you lose your spot in the rotation and
yep,
you start to get a little angry, and don't make the big man angry.
Shimon Zapala was the first big off the bench, and Trevin Dorius has responded with his opportunity tonight. St. Hilaire takes the long two. It's missed, and Dorius rips the rebound away from Brock Miller. Said, no, I need to get that board.
I need some stats.
Hand over to Ryland Jones. Jones, cross-court pass, wide open. Idle rock for three from the base is missed, and St. Hilaire pulls down the rebound. Can't ask for a better look than that. 25-10, Aggies up by 15, 9-14 and counting left to go here in the first half. Rodney Carson hands over to Alan Eikens. He drives but draws the foul before the shot. That'll be the 14th foul on Utah State. New Orleans also with, actually New Orleans only 3 team fouls.
Yeah, I think it's been a pretty clean game. Yeah, first half they got a few chippy ones, but
yep,
both teams, and of course the pace of play, you know, is so different. Aggies are playing without fouling against a slow defense, and New Orleans doesn't have a chance to foul because the Aggies are going so quickly.
Sackey and Kirkland check in for New Orleans. Stephen Ashworth checks in for Utah State. Inbound to Kirkland. Kirkland then finally gives it over to Sackey, who then retreats all the way back to the midcourt stripe with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Initiates the offense, finally to St. Hilaire outside the three-point line straight ahead. Bounce pass in the post, puts the shot up and missed, and the rebound fought for, still on the court, and Jackson's able to come away with it for New Orleans. Brings it back up top to St. Hilaire.
Whoop is the call.
Whoop, there it is.
Whoop, there it is.
St. Hilaire trying to drive baseline, and he is fouled. Aggies say he stepped on the line, but they'll call a foul against Utah State.
Yeah, kind of licked his chops there. He had Horvath on him and thought I could take him to the basket, and lined him up and took him to the hoop and got the foul.
Foul on the court. Put 20 back on the shot clock. Into the game will come Deshaun Allen Eikens. And it's really interesting. I mean, they're bringing dudes in and out.
Yeah, this is what you got to do, right? You got to. I bet they have them numbered 1 through 5, and they're just rotating them in and out like you did when you were in rec ball.
Sackey hands to Jackson. Jackson then back to Sackey on the right wing. Finally dishes it up to Alan Eikens. Thought about driving, but couldn't do anything with it. Hands back to Jackson. Over to Sackey. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Steps into a long 2 and misses it. And Trevin Dorius rips down yet another rebound. Aggies up 25-10 over New Orleans. The Privateers of New Orleans behind the back dribble by Ryland Jones into the post. Dishes out to Horvath for 3. No good. Dorius tries to keep it in play and out of bounds off of Dorius. It'll stay with New Orleans. Or it'll go back to New Orleans. Tonight, Bean with only 2 points on the night. Hands over to Horvath, who then gives it to Ashworth. Ball nearly stolen away, and it is St. Hilaire with the steal. He'll attack and throw down a reverse dunk.
Spud.
Ooh,
nice.
Wow. St. Hilaire showing a little flash tonight here in the Spectrum. That was filthy.
A little flair from St. Hilaire.
He's only 6 foot, which means he's probably 5'11".
Yeah.
Bairstow shot at the rim, blocked, stays in play by Bean, puts the shot up, no good, but he does draw the foul, and he'll go to the line for a couple of shots.
Yeah, tremendous athletic play, and the other end. This is a tremendous block. I mean, when's the last time we've seen Justin Bean get even close to getting blocked? Got fouled on the play, but even close to that on one of those patented reverse oop-de-loops.
Justin Bean going to the line. He and the rest of the team against BYU had their struggles from the free throw line, but in Logan, no big deal, hits the first one. Coach, I know you watched that game against BYU. Free throws sometimes can be contagious a little bit when the lid gets welded on.
And it's a high tension game, and we used all that energy to come back, and then you're shooting into that student section with some very impressive props.
Yeah.
I mean that was making me seasick.
Justin Bean 2 for 2 from the line. Aggies up by 15, 27-12 with 7 minutes left to go in the game. Saki outside the three-point line, working it down low to Jackson. Jackson goes to work against Horvath, spins into the lane, puts the shot up, no good. Rebound, fought for, and again, Kirkland comes away with it, loses the handle, collected by Alan Eikens. He puts it up, he misses it, and the Aggies come away with it. Offensive rebounds, though, doing some work here. Ashworth into a three, no good. Horvath with a rebound, kicks it and tries to hand it over to Ashworth, but St. Hilaire steals it. He'll go 1 against 3 and blocked into the first row. That's what happens when you don't have numbers. As Sean Bairstow blocks it and said, no, you got us on one. We're not giving you another.
No, and Bairstow's a tremendous open court shot blocker. At times he's athletic, jumps up there. Boy, that was quite a block, and not today.
Crowd letting him know, yes, you indeed did get swatted. St. Hilaire will inbound with Utah State leading by 15, 27-12. Alan Eikens rotates it left to Carson. Rodney Carson over to St. Hilaire. Gives it back up top. Alan Eikens driving, blocked again, but gets his own rebound, puts it up, misses that, and Utah State comes away with it. Brandon Horvath with the rebound.
Great block at the rim. That's another athletic play. We're seeing some good basketball tonight.
Justin Bean driving, kicking it outside to Horvath. Horvath drives. His shot at the rim, no good. As Kirkland, I'm not sure if he got a piece of it or not, but here comes New Orleans. Bounce pass to the right baseline. And then St. Hilaire comes back, kicks it to Kirkland, down low, in the post to Bell. Bell turn around and has the ball ripped out of his hands, and Ashworth gives it back to Rylan Jones. Jones outside the three-point line, hands to Ashworth. Ashworth wants to drive, kicks it to Bairstow. Baseline three is up and missed, and the rebound ripped down by Kirkland. Scoring has now come to a screeching halt for both teams. Utah State leading 27-12 with 5:30 left to go in the game.
Yeah, both teams with some really good looks. New Orleans getting to the rim whenever they want. They're just not able to finish. Feels like the ball's slipping when they go up to shoot. And man, if they get some confidence down there, they're getting where they want to go.
Yep. Aggies 1 out of their last 8. New Orleans 1 out of their last 11. Make it 1 out of the last 12 as St. Hilaire just airballed a 3 from the left side. Bairstow with St. Hilaire right on him. Hands to Horvath, to Bean. Bean splits a double team, lays it up and in with the right hand. Yes, sir, Justin Bean gives the Aggies their largest lead of the game of 17, 29-12.
Yeah, the Aggies have been handing it off every time, and he just countered it and faked the handoff and split the double team.
Rodney Carson Jr. is going to get hit with the charge. Rylan Jones. Coach, that's a Snickers bar.
Yeah, he's really clinician right now. I mean, he got the flopping technical foul, which I thought was a little bit carried away, but they were making a point, and you can tell that coaches were in the referee's ear about him flopping, but there's no flop there. I mean, that's a solid contact extended arm, and I mean, very rarely I take umbrage to anyone who says that he's flopping.
They called 3 flopping calls in that game against BYU, and going back and look, all 3 of them were wrong. Even the one that they called against BYU wasn't right.
Wasn't either, yeah. He got hit on three-point shot.
Brandon Horvath outside the three-point line, hands over to Rylan Jones. Bounce pass back to Horvath through the two-handed dunk. Rylan Jones fist pumps down the court. Beautiful pass, beautiful dunk. Aggies up 31-12. Deontay Bell looking for Jackson down low, muscles up against Horvath, and is able to push it up and in.
They've exposed that high-low a few times, and Bean stole one, Horvath stole one, but when they catch it, we're in big trouble.
Yep, that's their game. They love that high-low game. Bairstow gives it to Bean. 10 feet out on the baseline, rises, takes the jumper, missed it. Look at Ashworth skying in and getting the board. Swings across court to Rylan Jones. Pump fake the 3, driving. He puts a floater over to Bairstow, or Horvath, who lays it up and in. Thought it was a shot. It was a bit of an alley-oop to Horvath, who's able to get the bucket.
Yeah, that's an alley-oop all the way. I think Jones wanted him to go up and jam it, but we'll take the 2 points.
33-14, Aggies leading big here against New Orleans. St. Hilaire with Ashworth on him. Puts his shoulder down, drives, then kicks it to Sackey, takes the three and knocks down the three. That's the first three made tonight for New Orleans, who started the game 0 for 5. They're now 1 for 6. Ashworth works base, ball knocked out of his hands. It will go out of bounds and stay with Utah State, much to the chagrin of Mark Schlesinger, the head coach of New Orleans. Aggies lead 33-17, 3:24 left to go here in the first half. You're listening to Aggie basketball from Learfield.
Parents can talk to their kids about prescriptions in their own way.
Don't share prescriptions, son. Hey, you kid, don't share prescriptions.
Don't share prescriptions. It's like, don't share prescriptions. Don't share prescriptions. Don't do it, all right?
Staker Parson Companies has built a preferred source for sand, rock, and landscape products, ready-mix concrete, asphalt, paving, and construction services in your community for over 65 years. From the parks you play in to the roads you drive on, you can count on the Staker Parson team to deliver quality products and projects safely, timely, and efficiently.
For more information or career opportunities, visit stakerparson.com.
This scene is so important. I need you ready. He's ready. Roll camera.
Are there safe alternatives to this prescription?
Yes. Bravo! Bravo!
The first half with Utah State leading New Orleans 33-17. Good to see this offense clicking after some struggles against St. Mary's and BYU. This offense is flying high tonight.
Well, led by Rylan Jones. I mean, 6 assists.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's just a tremendous number. And, you know, it's almost spoon-feeding these big men as they roll to the rim.
Palmer's Metal Mart has been helping DIYers and seasoned pros with their metal projects since '93 with retail centers in Lehigh, Logan, and beyond Utah. All types of steel and aluminum products to every type of customer. More information is available at metalmart.biz. Palmer's Metal Mart, proud supporter of Aggie basketball. All right, Stephen Ashworth, Brandon Horvath, Sean Bairstow, Justin Bean, and Rylan Jones, your 5 Aggies out on the court. 3:24 left to go here in the first half. Horvath collects the inbound, swings it up top to Bean, back to Bairstow. Bairstow being guarded there by Kirkland. Will retreat back to the mid-court logo. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Bairstow looking to drive, kicks it right. Rylan Jones pump fake, steps back, takes the three. Yes, sir! Rylan Jones, that was filthy.
Wow, tremendous step back move. Big time.
Aggies up 36-17. Largest lead of the game, 19. St. Hilaire gets into the lane, but can't finish on the 5-foot bunny. And here comes Brandon Horvath quickly down the court. Ashworth back to Jones. Can he make it back-to-back? You know he can! Rylan Jones buries the back-to-back three, and Utah State cruising 39-17.
Boy, he gets in that groove. He can light it up quickly.
Alan Eikens working against Justin Bean.
Good move.
He spins into the lane. He is blocked by Justin Bean. It goes off of him, and Utah State will get the ball back. Justin Bean defensively not putting up with that Euro step.
Sometimes you say really good offense, but even better defense.
Utah State have made their last 3 field goals. New Orleans 2 out of their last 10. They're shooting 28%, where the Aggies are now at 54%.
Yeah, really, Aggies shooting it at the rim and wide open threes will get you a good percentage. I don't think we've had a challenge shot all night.
Yeah.
I think we're getting really wide open looks, and that leads to a high percentage.
Tyson Jackson back into the game for New Orleans. He had some good moments.
Zone defense,
A little bit of a zone here by New Orleans. Let's see how Utah State handles it. Rylan Jones double teams, hands over to Ashworth. Ashworth spins, needs to get rid of it. Hands to Bairstow. Bairstow back to Ashworth. And hands back to Bairstow. Down low, good pass to Horvath. Horvath in traffic, puts the right hand shot up, no good, but draws the foul. He'll go to the line for 2. Good move by Brandon Horvath. He had a lot of guys swiping at that basketball. He's still able to hold on and get the shot at the rim.
Yeah, kept the ball high, got his pivot foot, got it over his left shoulder. Just with that foul, unable to finish the end one.
So Brandon Horvath steps to the line, shooting 2. 73% free throw shooter. He also got bit by the free throw bug against BYU in the second half. This free throw is up and perfect.
Yeah, it's
shooting at home makes a little bit of a difference, does it not?
Yeah, a little bit of circumstances as well. I think you're feeling good right now, and yeah, just so many factors in the mental side of shooting free throws that you really can't attest for.
Another free throw here by Horvath is off the back of the iron, missed. Kirkland comes down with another rebound. That's 8 rebounds for Kirkland here in the first half. Hand to Jackson. Jackson shot at the rim. Had a good look, just couldn't get it to fall as New Orleans just a little bit short on all their shots. Ryland Jones looking for a driving Justin Bean. Bean keeps it in play to Ashworth to Horvath for 3. Oh, that place would have erupted had that gone down. What a hustle play by Bean and Ashworth. Instead, here comes New Orleans going the other way.
Yeah, definitely take a shot on goal there versus a turnover.
Yep. Sackey to Jackson. Jackson looking down low and a bad pass, and Ashworth with the steal. 8 turnovers here in the first half. Horvath, no look pass to Bairstow. Down low to Bean. Bean lays it up and in. Woo-hoo-hoo! The ball movement tonight for the Aggies is just filthy.
Wow, Justin Bean's body control and at the rim, well, phenomenal. The Aggies, I mean, this is a, compare your competition, but they're really locked in tonight.
42-17, Aggies up by 25, but if you're Bairstow, you don't throw that pass without knowing that Bean can contort himself like he can. I mean, that's practice and being around a guy knowing what he can do.
Yeah. Well, right now we've got one guy that can handle that pass, and that was Bean. So the right guy, right time.
Ziamoda into the game for Utah State. Aggies up by 25, 42-17. 1:10 left to go. St. Hilaire pump fakes, then hands over to Bell. Bell drives, but the ball knocked out of his hands. He got his hand in the cookie jar. Ryland Jones to Ashworth, takes the quick 3 and buries the 3. Aggies cruising now. 53 seconds left to go in the game, and Utah State up 45-17.
Ooh, we might get tacos.
Alan Eikens outside the three-point line, still hammering the dribble. Bean comes out to meet him, so he gives it down low to Kirkland, and Kirkland gets hit with a travel.
Hey, by the way.
Yes.
What was the deal? I don't know. I pause, rewind, and
I didn't see it. I know what you're talking about.
3 of them.
3 of them, yep.
And one that absolutely killed us. Okay, that's all.
Bounce pass to Horvath. Horvath works it right to Hamoda. Rotate right to Ryland Jones, and then he gives it to Ashworth. Aggies want to run some clock. Leading 45-17. 15 seconds on the shot clock, 22 seconds on the game clock.
Aggies satisfied to go with about 8 seconds left.
What a move by Ashworth, spinning into the lane. Kicks it over to Hamoda. Hamoda collects, takes the 3, knocks down the 3. Hamoda didn't catch it cleanly. Took a moment to kind of regroup, buried the 3, and the Aggies up 48-17. 3 at the buzzer by St. Hilaire, no good, and Utah State leads by 31. Then kicks it up top to Jackson, then over to Alan Eikens. Back to Hilaire. Hilaire tied up, ball goes off his hands, out of bounds. They'll say it went off his knee, and it'll go to Utah State.
Well, second half starting a lot like the first half for New Orleans and the Aggies. It's, we said sometimes when you get a man down, you kind of rise to the occasion, but unfortunately that has not been the case so far for New Orleans.
53-19 Idle Rock, who on the night tonight is the first player in double figures for Utah State with 11. He has a base, kicks it to Miller. Miller for 3, and no good. Horvath is fouled as he collects the offensive rebound. And I think one thing we underestimate about Brandon Horvath is his ability to rebound.
Yeah, he's crafty, and I would say that he defers a lot to Justin Bean, so maybe he's not pursuing, but when he wants it, he can get after it.
Bounce pass to Bean, who gives it right back to Ryland Jones. Wanted the 3, but just couldn't collect the pass well enough, so he gives it right back to Bean. Horvath to Idle Rock. RJ will step into a 3 again, and no good. And Ryland Jones nearly comes away with the rebound. Bean, though, kicks it all the way back to Brock. Brock will take that 3 from the baseline. That is no good. And the rebound pulled down by Alan Eikens of New Orleans. Hands to Kirkland. Kirkland then to Jackson. Jackson left to Sackey. Looking for the post pass. It's stolen away, but then kept by Kirkland. And Kirkland is going to get hit with the foul or the travel. What do we got?
Offensive foul.
Offensive foul on Kirkland.
So 2 this game for Ryland. He's good. It's not a stat that the conference really pays much attention to, but
they should.
Oh, it's a good hustle place.
Rylan Jones to Horvath. Aggies up 53-19 with 17:45 left to go in the game. Idle Rock on the right side. Dances into the lane. Kicks it to Jones. To Horvath. Horvath steps into the three. And that's a hair short as the Aggies missed their last three-point shot attempts. New Orleans sees St. Hilaire. Kick it to Saki. Saki takes the three and knocks it down from the right side. 53-22. Aggies lead by 31 against New Orleans with 17:15 left to go here in the game.
Let's get something downhill to the basket here.
Yep. Justin Bean guarded closely by Jackson. Hands to Horvath. Horvath will drive into the lane. Right-hand shot blocked. Kirkland with a beautiful block by New Orleans. Here comes Saki in transition. Floater with the right hand. No good. Tipped around, controlled by New Orleans. It'll be a foul against Utah State. Tyson Jackson fighting for the rebound.
That's your guy, Kirkland.
I love this player.
He's a scrappy dude, and just get that ball in his hands. He's got to just stick a fork in it and finish at the rim. But I want to see a replay. That looked like a double dribble, but I don't know.
New Orleans maintains possession. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Carson goes outside the three-point line, gives it to Jackson on the left elbow, kicks it back to Carson on the right wing, and he'll rotate it left to Alan Eikens. Hands low to Jackson attacking the rim, and another foul will go against Utah State. Aggies lead 53-22, 16:44 left to go here in the ballgame.
Nowhere in the building at all, right? It's just we've got to find a way to create some juice, and the Aggies really slowing things down, playing into that the Privateers' pace. So got to find some way to get the crowd involved, get them off their seats, and we've got a sub coming in the game that might do that.
Jackson only a 46% free throw shooter, but he knocks down that one. That's only the third free throw attempt by New Orleans in this game, but the Aggies are only have 4 3-point attempts as well.
Yeah, it's kind of turned into a little bit of a slow game right now, but
second free throw by Jackson is up and good. Give me any of that 46% nonsense. 2 for 2 and look good doing it.
And into the student section, so
53-24, 29-point lead for Utah State. With 16:45 left to go in the game. A little bit of a press, easily broken by Utah State. Aggies moving left to right. Stephen Ashworth into the game. Working the dribble. Hands to Brock Miller. Miller then to Jones. Jones rotates to the right side. Kicks into the lane, drives, kicks it back to Bean. Bean's got a good look for three, no good. Aggies have gone cold here from the three-point line. Ashworth tries to keep it in play, but cannot, and it'll go back to New Orleans. 53-24. Sean Bairstow's going to come into the game. Let's see who he subs in for. Brock Miller.
Yeah, this is the same as the first half. 3.5 minutes and 4, and it looks like we've got, that's been the same way. Well, Ashworth's come in at 3.5 minutes, 4 each time, so now we have Bairstow join in that group, so interesting.
Aggies 1 of 6 from 3 here in the second half after a blistering first half from beyond the three-point line. Nice reverse layup attempt taken by St. Hilaire, but unable to complete, and he was fouled, so he'll go to the free throw line for his first free throw attempts of the night.
Scotty, in the business, we call that a bailout. That's a good old-fashioned bailout. He got out of control and underneath the basket, and either fouled him, which was the bailout, or the referees bailed him out, one of the two. You decide.
St. Hilaire goes to the line. He'll have 2 free throws, his first 2 attempts of the night. He is a 87% free throw shooter. And misses it. For all of our good friends in New Orleans watching that game, I'm sorry, that's me. I reverse jinxed that one.
Well, they've kind of had a flip on their percentages, haven't they?
Yeah, no doubt. St. Hilaire, second free throw, and he knocks that one down. Into the game will come Tyson Jackson in for Simeon Kirkland. New Orleans showing signs of a bit of a press. New Orleans will inbound as Derek St. Hilaire, who on the night tonight has 9 points, averages 20 a game. Hands to Alan Eikens. Rotate it left to Carson. Back up top to Hilaire. Then hands right. Alan Eikens to Jackson. Down low to Bell. Ball nearly stolen away, and it is. Justin Bean comes away, rips it away from Hilaire. Hands to Ashworth. Ashworth wanting to drive, right hand layup up and good, and he draws the foul. Carson Jr. comes in, slaps him on the wrist, doesn't bother Ashworth, and he's able to finish the old-fashioned three-point play.
He put it into hyperdrive right there. I didn't know he had that little extra gear.
Yeah, he did. There's no doubt about that.
Finish.
Stephen Ashworth, a Lone Peak grad. Talked to him a little bit after the game. Certainly not pleased with how that BYU game turned out, considering his upbringing.
Yeah, he's probably seen a few games there and has a few buddies in the stands, so I'm sure that stung a little bit.
Ashworth can't make the free throw. Stays a 30-point game, 55-25. St. Hilaire kicks it all the way up top to Saki. Then back left to St. Hilaire. Takes the three from the baseline, missed it. Justin Bean with the board. Justin Bean, pass nearly stolen away as St. Hilaire got his hand. And certainly not happy with how that played out.
No,
apologize if that went over the air.
That wasn't me. No, St. Hilaire a little frustrated, but I imagine he gets most of his points and kind of his scoring off of the rest of the team. And when you're missing 7 guys, it's just not the same. And I can tell he's kind of pressing just a little bit, working hard, but it's just not just swing and miss.
Pass to Bean. Bean down low to Horvath. Horvath thought he was fouled but can't finish at the rim. St. Hilaire quickly down the court. Hands left. Long three from the base is up and missed. And Kirkland pulls down his 10th rebound of the game. Another offensive board. Back left to St. Hilaire. Pump fakes the three. Ashworth, though, recovers, puts a hand in his face, so he dribbles into the lane. Drives, puts a shot, blocked by Horvath. St. Hilaire still down on the court. Ryland Jones doesn't have numbers to Ashworth. Back to Horvath. Horvath is fouled on his way. No, an offensive foul against Brandon Horvath, driving into the lane.
Oh, yeah, got a little excited 5-on-4 with, St. Hilaire down on the other end, but you can't just run in there out of control. And, yeah, he's a little frustrated. Horvath a little frustrated. Thought he got hit in the head on the last one. And, again, just got to keep your head. Can't lose your wits.
55-25, been stuck at this score for a bit. Aggies have only made 1 out of their last 9 field goal attempts in this game. St. Hilaire against Ashworth. Ashworth comes and pokes the ball away from him and then dives down on the court. They're going to say out of bounds off of Ashworth. St. Hilaire just thought nobody was going to dive for it. Didn't see Ashworth coming from behind, try to keep it in play.
St. Hilaire's thinking, I got to save my energy a little bit. Yeah. He's played most of the game. I mean, he's come out a few times, but not for long.
But he's made a couple business decisions in this game.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Load management, Scott.
And can't say I blame him. Yeah. No. All right, Saki hands to Carson. Carson on the left wing, back to St. Hilaire. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Not sure he knows that there's only 3 seconds on the shot clock. 2-1. Kirkland is able to put up a shot at the rim, but can't get it to go. Trevin Dorius with the rebound. Hands to Bairstow. Bairstow lays up over Kirkland. No good. Dorius can't keep it in play, and Jackson comes away with it.
I think that one got blocked just a little bit, tipped at least.
St. Hilaire has the ball knocked out of his hands. Fortunately, though, for New Orleans, Carson is able to collect. Hands up top to Jackson. He takes the jumper from about the free throw line, out of bounds, and I believe it'll stay with New Orleans. 13:48 left to go here in the ball game. New Orleans has out-rebounded Utah State 30-26, thanks in part to Kirkland, who's got 10 rebounds on the night.
Yeah, I mean, New Orleans obviously a few more misses because of the shooting percentage, but way more active on the boards than the Aggies are. A little bit more athletic and have a little bit more height.
Back with the last 3 years of Neemias Queta, it was just kind of foregone conclusion Utah State would win the rebounding battle, and that's not going to be the case. It's going to be a little bit more of a back and forth.
No, and teams against us are really putting effort to get a body on Bean. They're really banging him up.
Long three missed by New Orleans. Utah State comes away with it. Ryland Jones on the right wing. Gets a nice screen from Dorius. Drives base. Jackson switches and fouls Ryland Jones. RJ Eidelrock's going to come in. Ryland Jones will take a breather.
Yeah, New Orleans now starting to get a couple players with 3 fouls, and that'll, again, we don't want to finish this game with 4, but we want to keep it clean. And I mean to say that they're playing hard defense.
Yeah.
We want to call them when we see them, but we want to keep everybody in the game.
Ashworth, guarded by Saki, spins in the lane, takes the jumper from the free throw line and can't get it to go. Tipped around, controlled by Bairstow, back to Ashworth. Ashworth to Eidelrock to Bairstow. Bairstow comes to the midcourt stripe to reset the offense. Crossover dribble, behind the back dribble, still driving into the lane, caught off. And goes up, under, bounce pass to Bean. Bean puts the floater with the right hand up and good. 57-25. Justin Bean on the night tonight has got 12 points and 7 rebounds. Just a few boards away from another double-double. Saki with Ashworth on him. Rotates it right to Carson. Carson with Bairstow on him. Drives baseline. Bairstow cuts him off, so he swings it right to Kirkland. Takes the long jumper and knocks it down.
I'll have to confirm with Doug Hoffman or Kyle, but I think that Bean's passed Spencer Nelson.
Nice pass from Bean down to Dorius. Dorius with a two-handed dunk. 59-27. Dorius with 6 points on the night tonight. Saki working outside the three-point line. Bean comes out, puts a hand on his face. Saki now needs to get rid of it. Hands to Deontay Bell, then back to Alan Eikens. He thought about a three, can't do anything with it, so he gives it to Carson. He'll take the baseline jumper, and he misses it. And Utah State with the ball. Aggies up 59-27. We'll have a timeout on the next dead ball. Ashworth fighting against Saki to Bean to Idle Rock. Idle Rock another three-point attempt, and he buries it from the left base.
Wow, he's on fire today from beyond the arc.
35-point lead for Utah State, 62-27 with 11:28 left to go. Alan Eikens has the ball knocked out of his hands on the drive to the rim, and it'll be a foul against Utah State, and that brings us to another media timeout. Aggies cruising to a victory, 62-27, 11:25 left to go in the game. You're listening to Aggie Basketball from Learfield. He's still upset with himself.
Well,
St. Hilaire crosses the timeline. Ziyamoto's there to guard him. Kicks it to number 33, Deontay Bell. Ball goes out of bounds off of Alan Eikens, and it'll be a turnover. Shimon Zapala set to check in the game. Let's see if he'll come in for, nope. And will he come in for Dorius? Yes, he will. Dorius saw him there at the scores table and then walked away hoping that maybe coach would change his mind.
He did that little thing where he puts his hand up to his eye and kind of tucked his head saying, not me, not me.
I don't know if you can miss Dorius out on the court. You're not going to run away and hide. Dellison hands over to Rylan Jones. Jones back to Hamoda. Hamoda drives, pulls up, then hands to Dellison. He'll take the long three. No good. Missed it, but there's Max Shulga for the rebound. He gives it to Hamoda. He'll take the three. Miss it. Dellison fighting for the rebound. And Shimon Zapala also in the mix, and they're going to get Shimon Zapala for the over the back.
Yeah, we should shoot one-on-ones here, I think, if my math is correct.
That is the 17th foul. You are correct on Utah State. And that will send Kirkland to the line, where he is a 75% free throw shooter, with Utah State leading 75-32. Here comes the first free throw, is up and no good, and Hamoda pulls down the board. Z Hamoda, good ball handler, takes the three early in the, and another over the back on Shimon Zapala. Looks over and says, what are you talking about? But I think if I could call that, it's probably a pretty easy call to make. So back-to-back over the backs is going to lead back-to-back one-and-one opportunities here for New Orleans.
That's Z's old number one call. It's where you take one dribble and let it fly. Yep. He was bound and determined to get some points. I'd like to see him to the basket. He's a good driver.
I would. Kirkland, who missed the front end of a one-and-one, gets another one here and knocks that down. 75-33. With 6:14 left to go here in the ball game. Second free throw is up, and Kirkland knocks them both down. Kirkland just 2 points away from a double-double. He's got 8 points and 12 rebounds. I mentioned I like this guy's game.
Yeah, he's pretty solid. He's done a good job of cleaning up the boards.
Max Shulga nearly has the ball stolen away. Swings it up top to Dellison. Dellison right to Hamoda. Hamoda outside the three-point line, gives it to Shulga. Shulga will work his way to the right side of the court. Then back to the left, steps into a long three, and no good. Fight for the rebound, and one is going to go against Dellison. Back-to-back offensive rebounding fouls is going to send, once again, New Orleans to the free throw line for a one-and-one.
Well, there's not a big hurry to end the game, that's for sure.
Officials may not have flights
tonight.
In case you're just joining us, a couple news and notes out of this game to keep an eye on. First off, New Orleans came into this game with only 7 active players. Had to leave a lot of players home due to some health and safety protocols. So they've been short-handed going into this game. Then just about, 4 minutes of gameplay ago, Sean Bairstow looked to have injured his hand, some kind of a cut on his hand, serious to the point where he didn't come back down on defense. Utah State finally got a rebound, called a timeout, and Bairstow immediately sprinted up the tunnel where he was there and being attended to by Utah State officials for a fairly significant amount of time. And that's not where the locker room tunnels are. That's on the other side of the arena. And only about a moment ago did I actually see him leave to go back to the locker room. So they were attending to him up on the top side of that tunnel for a significant amount of time.
The training room is on the top left, so that's right where he's
head to. Yeah, you're right.
The training room
is... Yeah, the locker room's on the other side, but the training room, that would make sense. You're right. First free throw is up and good by Alan Eikens. Second free throw is up and good as well. 75-36, excuse me. 39-point lead as New Orleans on a 7-0 run.
Yeah, playing to the end, playing hard.
Yeah. I do like this team.
Yeah,
they get healthy, get everybody back, and they'll be a fun team to watch in that Southland Conference. Shulga, step back three, yes. Max Shulga, he'll show you glimpses of just how special he can be.
No doubt about that.
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Aggies with points tonight so far in this game. St. Hilaire on the right side, looking for Saki, comes up and gets it outside the three-point line, straight ahead, 10 seconds on the shot clock. And to Jackson. Jackson on the base. Jackson turnaround jumper is up and good. Travis Wagstaff's going to check in for Utah State. Aggies clearing the bench. New Orleans would like to. They just don't have the players to do it.
Nobody there.
78-38, 40-point game. Rylan Jones, hands over the left side. Ball knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. And Travis Wagstaff will check into the game, number 1. And Rylan Jones checks out. Rylan Jones' night will be done. You know, this will be good for some of these youngsters from Utah State to play, because usually when they're in, they're up against another team that's emptied their bench.
Yeah.
They're going to go up against some high-level starters here.
That's a great point, Scotty. It's a very unlikely situation usually.
Norbert Dellison throwing it down to Shimon Zapala. Zapala can't finish at the rim, but draws the foul. Thought Norbert was going to try to finish that thing.
Yeah, he looked like he was up for a jump hook plenty high enough, but saw his buddy and tried to get himself an assist. But
so Zapala is going to step to the line for some free throws on the season. Shimon 4 of 5 from the free throw line, with a couple coming up here with 4:41 left to go in the game. New Orleans with 16 fouls. Next one will put Utah State in the bonus. Zapala's free throw is up and perfect. For a big man, he's got a pretty good stroke on those free throws.
He's a solid offensive player, and I'd like to see him. You know, we don't see his mid-range jump shot very much, but the way he shoots free throws, I feel like he could be a nice shooter from the free throw line. But
leaves that one a bit short.
My bad.
Dellison is there for the rebound. He puts it up with the right hand, misses it. Tipped around, Shulga gets another rebound. And his bounce pass is stolen away, but goes out of bounds off of number 24, Carson Jr. And it'll stay with Utah State with 18 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, really nothing going New Orleans' way tonight.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got to imagine they're dead tired, too.
Yeah, no doubt.
I admire what their coach is doing with the quick rotations and getting guys as many breathing opportunities as they can.
It's kind of AAU basketball. If you've ever seen a group of 7, they know they're coming in every 2 minutes.
Shulga gets a screen from Zapala. Bounce pass back to Zapala.
Foul.
Nearly got the two-handed dunk. Fouled at the rim, and he'll go back to the line for a couple free throws.
Timber.
That's a big man with a big fall.
Yeah, I was a little nervous there, but he looks really good on pick and roll and feeding the basketball. I mean, yeah, the Aggies at the post, we've got several options, and they may not all be perfect. You know, you'd like to morph a few of their talents together, but between the three of them, we really have we're really solid right there. We've got 15 fouls to use, Scotty.
Zapala misses the first free throw with one more coming up. 1 of 3 from the line today, 4 of 5 coming into the game.
check that. Referee is ready to go. Already given Zapala the ball, but do-over.
Zapala stepping into his second free throw. Let's see if he can go 2 for 4 here. Second free throw, yes. All right. Shimon Zapala as the Aggies break 80, leading 80-38, 4:24 left to go here in the game. St. Hilaire with Shulga on him, trying to drive on him on the base, spins, and then dribbles out, and then hands back up top to Carson. Carson hands to the left side with Zapala on him. Bounce pass down low to Kirkland. Kirkland, see if he works against Dellison. He does. Puts his shoulder down and ticky-tack foul against Dellison. It's a 40-point game. What are we doing here? That'll send Kirkland to the line.
Scotty, that would be up by 42.
Kirkland, if he can make these free throws, will get himself a double-double.
Okay.
Kind of cheering for him here. Free throw, no good, and it's a 1-and-1. No, that was 2 free throws. Knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. It'll stay with New Orleans.
Foul.
Oh, foul against Utah State.
Not quite sure what the...
I was kind of hoping. They really want to get Kirkland this double-double. He's 3 of 5 from the free throw line, 9 points, 12 rebounds. All these guys' minutes played numbers are going to be skyrocketing on their averages. And Kirkland misses, and one more coming up. Kirkland came into this game as 75% free throw shooter. He's 3 of 6 on the night tonight. All right, one more coming up, and got that one to go. There's his double-double, 10 points, 12 rebounds.
Oh.
Okay. 80-40, Aggies lead by 40. Shulga looking for Wagstaff. Instead, Zapala comes out to collect. Hands back to Travis Wagstaff. Hands to Zapala. He has another ball go off his hands and another turnover on Utah State, although it's taken right back by Travis Wagstaff. Driving down the court, kicks it over to Hamoda. Hamoda driving baseline. Back to Wagstaff. Steps into a 3. No good. Leaves it short. Dellison keeps it, tries to keep it in play, and cannot. Ball goes off his hands. Rodney Carson is there. And Utah State will see coming into the game. And I believe Connor Gillis coming into the game. They still do not have Gillis's right jersey. He's still rocking a number 20. In reality, it should be number 13 as soon as that jersey comes in for him.
That's weird. On the
St. Hilaire has to come back into the game to shoot
technical foul. Was there a technical foul?
Yeah, must have been.
Hold on here.
All right, we'll get to the bottom of this.
Oh, what was the technical foul?
It's a first free throw is missed by St. Hilaire, who came in an 87% free throw shooter. So what's the story, Coach?
Well, apparently we did not adjust the book to number 20 for Gillis. We wanted to put him down as number 13. And that, my friend, is a technical foul.
Oh, Kyle got a technical?
So, no, that would be on the assistant coach.
Oh, okay.
He's the one that checks the books. But it's called an administrative technical foul, and now we've got I
did not see what happened over there on the far sideline. It'll be, they're bringing in a player and checking out will be St. Hilaire. They'll bring Saki back into the game. I've not seen an administrative technical before, have you?
No, in different levels.
Yeah.
But yeah, at this level, you find it occasionally in games like this because, you're not really paying attention to some of those guys that don't usually play, and it'll catch you off guard.
I know I don't know what the hang-up is, but they've been waiting on that number 13 jersey for Gillis.
Yeah.
And they have not had a chance to get it yet. He's still rocking the number 20 without his name on it. Trying to throw the alley-oop down low to Kirkland. Kirkland with a one-handed dunk. Nasty.
She started the game with that.
I know St. Hilaire's getting the guy that gets all the props, but I love what Kirkland brings to the table for this New Orleans team. That was filthy. 38-point game, 80-42, 2:25 and counting left to go. Works it right to Wagstaff, then hands over to Shulga. Shulga gets a screen from Wagstaff, then tries to get it low to him. Instead, Hamoda gets the ball to Gillis. Gillis for 3, missed it badly. Still down on the court, and Dellison has the ball ripped out of his hands. It'll go to Carson. Carson crossing the timeline. Gillis comes out to meet him. Leaves it for a trailing Alan Eikens. And he'll drive, and he'll draw the foul. And my goodness, we're getting paid by the whistle tonight.
Yeah.
80-42, 38-point lead with 2:03 left to go here in the game. What this does is give us a good opportunity to talk about our friends at the Sports Academy. Sports Academy, your club, your results, your life. First free throw is missed. Sign up for the old Sports Academy. Get your workout on this upcoming year.
Yes.
Got those January 1 goals coming up. Let's go.
It'll be packed that day, I guarantee you.
It always is. First free throw is missed. Hamoda. Hamoda will cross-court it to Wagstaff and give back to Shulga. Shulga comes back to the U-State logo with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Gets a screen, drives, kicks it back, and they'll call a travel as Shulga lost control, fell down, but passed it to Wagstaff. Wagstaff hit the three, but they're going to call a travel before Wagstaff is able to get the shot up.
Yeah, 2 unforced turnovers there. That's bad body language right now. He's got to turn the switch, get back into it.
80-45. And the ball nearly stolen away, though, but finally Carson's able to come back and collect. Hands back to Alan Eikens around the three-point line, steps back, takes the long three, and airballs it. Hamoda with a nice one-handed rebound, and he wants to run. Hamoda bounce pass to Gillis. It's a little too low, and another turnover on Utah State. Aggies kind of piling up the turnovers here late in the game.
Yeah, this the stats and score will not be indicative of the game,
yes,
folks.
No, that's true. Saki crosses the timeline. Shulga comes out to meet him near the midcourt stripe. Crosses over, gets to the lane, reverse layup, up, missed. Another rebound by Kirkland, and a putback up and in by Kirkland. And Kirkland on the night tonight with 12 points and 14 rebounds.
Their player of the game.
Actually, no, Bucket was behind. He's now got 14 and 14. 80-47. Shulga still with the dribble. Dellison comes to help him out with the screen. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Aggies will need to get one shot off to avoid a shot clock violation. Shulga drives, Shulga fouled, and that'll send Shulga to the line. Shulga's got 3 points on the night tonight. Wagstaff is the only player, and Gillis, the only 2 players that have been out on the court that have not scored tonight, both 0 for 1.
Yeah, had a chance, but yeah, good. I mean, this game from the start has just been, well distribution of scoring and no selfish play at all.
Shulga's free throw on the 1-and-1 is up and good. One more coming up for Max Shulga. Second free throw by Shulga. That is up, and that is good as well. 82-47, 35-point lead for Utah State. Actually snapped a 9-0 run by New Orleans. Saki with the ball. Let's see what New Orleans tries to do here with 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Saki with a long three, hits it. Gets New Orleans to 50, gets a nice condescending applause from the crowd, and that is it. Utah State gets it done, 82-50. Aggies led by as many as 42 in this game tonight, but Utah State able to get the victory by 32, 82-50.